Hello and welcome to Tony's Bonsai. Today I'm showing you my 10 favourite bonsai trees. In at number 10 we've got this collected oak tree. This one's far from being a bonsai tree yet. This is really just in purely based on its potential. This oak's got a nice chunky base. I really like the way the trunk sweeps up and tapers in, and it's beginning to develop some character, the actual bark as well. So loads of potential in this for the future, and as you can see, it's budding out with lots of fresh growth and doing really well. After this was collected, I did leave a few of the basic branches on, but most of this has all grown in the last 12 months. I need to do a bit of branch selection, maybe add a bit of movement into some of these branches, so that'll be on an upcoming video. In at number 9, it's another collected tree. This is a Scots pine. I really like this. You may have seen me working on this last year, adding some nice movement to this branch. This is the second application of wire to this branch, and I'm hoping this one really kind of gets that position set in place. It's got some really nice movement to it. It's got like a natural shari in here, but that's almost healed over. I might reinstate that. The other thing I like about this tree is how vigorous and healthy it is. It's got quite short needles, lots of candles. It's just, it's looking great. Pines are not the easiest to work on, but I'm really looking forward to developing this over the next few years. In at 8, we've got the youngest tree in my top 10, and this is a cascading hawthorn. I particularly like this one because I built it myself completely from very basic material over only 2 years. It's coming on really nicely, and it's really at the time now where I need to get in and do some pruning on it. This is a really healthy tree, as you can see. It's absolutely packed with all this soft, fresh new growth, and I need to get in here and do some styling on this tree, and I'll be doing that next week, I think. In at 7, we've got this nice stumpy little collected beech tree. I really like this. Last year, this is one of the trees that I didn't fertilise properly. It kind of went yellow, so during the latter part of the year, I fertilised it very heavily, and it's come on really strong this spring, and I think this is going to have a good year. I did a major cut on this about 12 months ago, and it's beginning to roll, but one of my main goals for this year is to really get this healing up well. So I'm going to allow this to have a very vigorous year. That's the plan anyway. And I want to show you the roots. This tree's got some fairly large, thick surface roots at the base, and I quite like these. I think they add good character and real stability to the tree as a whole. This is the new leader of the tree coming up, so my aim is to thicken this over the next couple of years just to get that transition a bit better. Number 6 was a really hard one to choose because I put windswept birch on the list, and I've got a couple. I could have picked either. I ended up going with this one, which has got some really nice interesting movement to it. I wired this up in the winter, and as you can see, it's looking really healthy, and I'll need to take that wire off probably in another maybe 4 to 6 weeks. They grow so vigorously, and I've given this a good feed, so I don't want this wire biting in. I just love these. Windswept has to be my favourite style. This isn't number 5, this is the other windswept tree, but I wanted to show you just to make a bit of a point that this style is really all about winter image. You know, if you look at it now, it just looks like a sort of pom-pom on a trunk. You can't really see what's going on, but we know what's under there, and in the future, it's going to be nice. In at number 5 is my hawthorn on a rock. I absolutely love this. I'm just so pleased that the trees seem to be alive. I think they're going to develop root over rock nicely, and yeah, let's hope it just keeps on doing well and budding out and looking good. In at 4 is my European larch. I just love this tree. Look how green and colourful it is. The first 2 years it's really struggled. It just about survived the first year. Last year it did okay, but it wasn't strong. So this year I'm just allowing it to get loads of energy, really get healthy, and it's a beauty. 2 years ago, I didn't really know better. So when I first got this tree, I did some major restyling on it. I cut loads of big, thick branches and, you know, wired it out and did everything I could to it. And they're so tough, you know, it's made it. But as I say, this only just made it. But because of that work, I think I've, in a relatively short period of time, I've got it into a good place. In at 3, it's my silver birch forest. This isn't the best angle, but I didn't want to move this at the moment. It's only was put together a few weeks ago, but it's looking great. It's super healthy, and yeah, it's straight away, it's one of my favourites. I left lots of leaves on, so they're obviously quite small, but almost every branch is full of nice dark green leaves, and yeah, I'm so pleased that this is doing well. It was quite an easy job for me picking number 1 and 2, but what order to put them in, I was unsure. In the end, my oldest tree, which I've been growing for over 30 years, which is this clump style oak, it came in at number 2. I'm pleased to say, after the big repot that I did, I hadn't been repotting in 15 years, all the buds are swelling, the leaves are appearing. I'm sure that's putting lots of new fine roots out in this bonsai soil. And next year, I think I'd like to do something with this straight branch and possibly bend it over. But I won't do it this year because I just need it to have a good healthy year and do well. I'm not really the sentimental kind of person, but it's more than just the age of it that I like. I really love the character down at the base of this tree. These sort of roots coming out, just the general gnarliness of it. It really kind of fits in with my idea of great bonsai. Before I reveal number 1, I want to just say I'm going to show you a couple of honourable mentions after my favourite tree. So stick around and see what you think of those. And here it is. It's my Literati hawthorn. I just love this tree. I really like the movement, the texture on the bark. That shows the age of it. And none of this has even been worked on yet. It's very much a potential bonsai, but I don't think it's going to require too many years' work to get it looking really nice. I suspect that whole top section is going to come off, and this will become the new main sort of direction that the tree's going to go in, but I've got to decide that, and I will be making some of those decisions later this year. From this view, you can see some of the character. I took a large branch off last year, that needed to go, but look at that, beautiful. First of my trees that didn't make the top 10 is this group planting of Orange Dream Japanese maples. I couldn't include this, I only put this together 12 months ago, and they're not bonsai, they're far from it, they're just basic twigs in pots. But I just wanted to show you the colour. A few days ago it was at its absolute peak, but it's still looking lovely with these sort of salmon coloured leaves. It's not a natural planting, you know, they're all in a line. It's not supposed to look natural, it's just a beautiful thing. A bit closer in you can see the gorgeous pastel colours of these leaves. And after I first planted it last year, it didn't have the healthiest few months, but this year it's looking far better, and this could go on to be really nice. Although I only put these together, again, a few weeks ago, these are the small spruce, the Shito style. They've grown really well. They're all beginning to bud out and looking healthy. I was a bit concerned that they wouldn't make it, but yeah, they're looking great. I was just looking around the garden for a tree just to finish with, and I realised I forgot to include my hazel. Possibly, maybe I'm a bit prejudiced against the tree because it's not traditionally considered a sort of bonsai species, but it's certainly chunky. It's got a really nice trunk, and I think with this wire that I put in and the new buds that are appearing, I think I should be able to, at the very least, get a nice winter image out of this. So, yeah, he deserves to be in this one. Hope you enjoyed my 10 favourite bonsai trees. If you did enjoy this type of content, hit like and let me know in the comments which your personal favourite was. You know, do you think I got it wrong, or let me know? As always, thanks for joining me. Have a great day, and I'll see you soon.